Chapter 88 Star Atlas Book. The underground holy spring was located beneath the Silver Commerce Tower, surprising Mo Fan. This was because the roof he met Mu Ningzhu on was only one building away. This Silver Commerce Tower looked like a straight, towering pentagon. People described it as a skyscraper, but it looked like a big pentagonal pagoda that was located in the center of Bo City. The height of the Silver Commerce Tower was around 200 meters. The entire exterior was covered in reinforced glass. Beneath the sun, it looked like the tip of an unsheathed sword. When night fell, the entire tower would be filled with brilliant lights and vibrant colors. City areas in the distance were still able to see its swirling rainbow colors in the evening. It was considered a symbolic structure of Bo City. It was said that the super big conference hall on the top floor belonged to Mu Joyan. And Bo City's heavenly treasure, the underground holy spring, was actually located beneath the Silver Commerce Tower. The white and gold collar workers within the tower didn't know that this place even had a 15th sub-floor. An elevator that seemed like the ones from a Secret Services headquarters had taken Mo Fan down to the 15th sub-floor of the tower. Mo Fan was stunned to find out that this place really looked like a secret organization. They actually dug out a secret protective underground hall. The underground hall was built using special crystalline rocks. At one look, you could tell it came from the hands of a very credible construction master. The underground hall had one patrol squad guarding the place. The patrol squad's captain was also an intermediate magician. An intermediate magician was guarding the entrance? This showed just how important the underground holy spring was to Bo City. Behind this totem door is the underground holy spring. You are allowed to enter for a period of 1 week to cultivate. The underground holy spring will maintain a cycle by itself, so don't touch it. All you need to do is to sit in the middle of the underground holy spring, on the leather mat, as you enter meditation or control. Mu Joyan was in a bad mood as he said this to Mo Fan. This underground holy spring was originally supposed to be taken by Yu Ang. Who would have thought that it would be taken by this kid, Mo Fan? How could Mu Joyan's mood be good in this case? Accompanying Mo Fan here was Tang Yue. Tang Yue slowly nodded to Mo Fan, hinting that he should go inside and enter his seclusion. "Oh, I have something to give you," Mrs. Tang Yue said to Mo Fan as she thought of something. "Something to give me?" Mo Fan was surprised. Mrs. Tang Yue took out 4 different purple and red-colored books from thin air. The books were engraved with what looked like light specks from the stars and star path prints. It looked like some kind of completed magic diagram. "Mrs. Tang Yue, you really are magnanimous when you hand things out. This is a precious Star Atlas book, and you're even giving out 4 of them. This really is making me, a rich provincial, broaden my horizons." Standing off to the side, Mu Joyan immediately recognized the books Mrs. Tang Yue was giving away, his face turning sour. "What is this Star Atlas book?" asked the confused Mo Fan. "After you have experienced the baptism of the underground holy spring, you will surely not be too far from becoming an intermediate magician. I'm not certain whether I'll still be here to teach you. Thus, I'm giving you these Star Atlas books as a parting gift, so you can have some way to protect yourself after you've broken through to intermediate level." Mrs. Tang Yue stopped for a bit before continuing on to explain the functions of the Star Atlas book. You already know that primary magicians are required to link their stars to form a star path. After a star path emerges, a spell will be formed. Mo Fan nodded. It felt as though he was listening to his teacher give him an even higher level magic class. After you reach intermediate level, your stardust will turn into a nebula. The nebula will be even more vast than stardust, and it will have 49 stars in total. Intermediate magic requires you to connect the 49 stars into a star atlas. Intermediate magic will only be born after the star atlas has emerged. Mrs. Tang Yue explained, "Stardust turning into a nebula. 49 stars interconnect to form a star atlas, which becomes intermediate magic." Mo Fan's heart silently remembered these crucial words. You should understand that completing the control of 7 stars requires an incomparably long time to cultivate. The 49 stars difficulty won't be just 2 or 3 times as hard. Even if you change your stardust into a nebula, you will still need a long time before you are able to cast an intermediate level magic spell. This Star Atlas book's specialty is that when you pour your intent into it, the Star Atlas book will release a special attraction that will cause your 49 stars to form into the arrangement on the Star Atlas. Even if you don't have enough power to take control of all 49 stars, as long as your nebula has enough magic energy, Then it will be able to cast its intermediate magic spell. Mrs. Tongyue explained sincerely. Mo Fan's jaw dropped. He never thought that this world would have such a magical thing. With something like a Star Atlas book, what was the point of magicians bitterly cultivating control? They could just bring along a few books and they would be fine. Mu Joyan looked as though he could read what Mo Fan had in mind before he coldly humphed. Even if you had money, you still wouldn't be able to purchase a Star Atlas book. Your Mrs. Tongyue isn't as simple as a regular teacher. Mo Fan looked at the mature and beautiful teacher in front of him, astonishment building in him. Thinking about it carefully, a teacher who was able to casually settle the matter with a Stardust magic tool shouldn't be as simple as just being a high school teacher. Furthermore, Mo Fan had witnessed Mrs. Tongyue's shadow spells. This meant that Mrs. Tongyue was at least an intermediate magician. You possess an innate dual element. It will be hard for you to escape the jealousy of smaller people. These books are given to you to protect yourself. Naturally, if you want to use these Star Atlas books, the prerequisites are that you need to turn your stardust into a nebula, and 7 stars into 49 stars. If not, the Star Atlas book will absorb your body and turn you into a mummy, Mrs. Tongyue informed him earnestly. Mo Fan nodded his head in sincere gratitude. He felt really moved. He and Mrs. Tongyue only had a regular student and teacher relationship, and yet, she was caring for him so much. It seemed he must hurry up and cultivate to the level of an intermediate magician, and then earn lots of money so he can marry her. Only then will he be able to return this favor. Thank you, Mrs. Tongyue. I will definitely do my best. Mo Fan said sincerely. Tongyue smiled. Her bright eyes had some expectations of him. You shouldn't be too proud of yourself. The heaven and earth spirit pond of this underground holy spring isn't bad. However, it won't be able to help you reach the intermediate level. It will only give you a big push toward the intermediate level checkpoint. If you really want to break through, still far for you. Mu Joyan coldly humphed. Tongyue no longer said anything. She had already given him what she wanted to give him, so she turned around to leave. Mu Joyan was too lazy to look at the kid that made his entire being feel like babbling rubbish. He waved his hand to signal to the protectors of the underground holy spring to pull Mo Fan in and lock him inside. Pull yourselves together. Last time, the ground gutter rat almost found this place. If the warm waters of the underground holy spring were to leak out and attract calamity, then you guys will definitely be questioned. The captain of the guards, Liang Bin, shouted. Captain, don't worry. That matter will definitely not happen again. The other guards made a solemn vow. This last thing Mo Fan had heard from the guards before he had entered the underground holy spring made Mo Fan think of that one-eyed magic wolf that had almost evolved. The one-eyed magic wolf had precisely acquired the leaked warm waters of the underground holy spring, turning it into something dreadful. With that logic in mind, if I was to cultivate here for 7 full days, wouldn't my entire being soar? Chapter 89 Calm Down. Little Loach Pendant. The underground holy spring was an enclosed area, built with dark green boulders. Each boulder had a strange magic diagram and incantation engraved on its surface. In any case, Mo Fan was an educated person. He could understand some of the meanings behind the diagrams, and if he wasn't wrong, then these must be advanced-level protective-type magic spells. Thus, it was not just some place built with stone. In fact, even if there was an earthquake, it wouldn't necessarily affect this place in the slightest, a flawless defense in the truest sense. Originally, Mo Fan thought this underground holy spring was a large bath. He would strip off his clothes and lie in there as he enjoyed all of it. However, after passing through a few erected archways, Mo Fan was amazed to find out that the underground holy spring was only a square-shaped, stone-stepped altar. The stone altar had 4 layers. The very bottom one had a small hole that acted as a circuit channel. The clear holy spring water that was practically transparent was slowly flowing through the small stone channel. Mo Fan observed it for a bit and couldn't find anything special about it. Just when he was about to sit down on the stone step altar and start cultivating according to the instructions of Mu Joyan, suddenly, the little loach pendant on his chest began to emit strange trills. What are you getting excited for, acting like you can drink all this? Mo Fan immediately began to scold it. The current little loach pendant was a spirit-grade stardust magic tool. Not only was Mo Fan able to maintain meditation for 14 hours a day, he was also able to obtain the special energy from the little loach pendant that helped nourish his 2 stardusts. It was precisely why Mo Fan was able to cultivate 2 elements to the 3rd level within such a short time. Even in a school with so many people, those who possessed the 2nd level of primary magic before they graduated their 3rd year of high school could be considered impressive. Mo Fan was able to exceed them by a level in circumstances where he had 1 more element to cultivate. This was enough to display the capabilities of a spirit-grade Stardust magic tool. Is it possible that the little loach pendant is able to absorb the underground Holy Spring's warm pond? Mo Fan felt his own pendant's thirst. His heart couldn't help but ponder. The Stardust magic tool and underground Holy Spring should have the same nature, so it should be able to speed up a magician's cultivation. The underground Holy Spring exhibited a colossal amount of energy, so much that it could help magicians attack the intermediate realm from the primary level. Should I try? If the little loach pendant really can absorb the energy from this place, then wouldn't it be able to once more advance to an even higher quality Stardust magic tool? Mo Fan inevitably had some brazen thoughts floating through his head. The school's Stardust magic tool's energy was completely absorbed by the little loach pendant, and if the special warm pond within the underground Holy Spring was absorbed, wouldn't that be equivalent to him carrying around the underground Holy Spring on his body? The underground Holy Spring only opened up once a year. It would only be able to supply 1 promising magician with cultivation time. With just that, many people admired it. Shit, I can't. The Stardust magic tool from school was absorbed by the little loach pendant and was turned into garbage. He could only thank Mrs. Tang Yue, who had helped him settle the matter. This time, if he were to absorb the entire underground Holy Spring, not only would all of the people in Bo City go crazy, he himself would be put on a stake and burned to death. Carefully meditate. It's better to not think about this kind of large, illogical matter. Little loach pendant, don't be so impulsive. I know this thing is a big supplement for you. However, if you were to do that, then your grandfather, would be stomped by the people of Bo City. Thus, you cannot just do anything you want. We'll just quietly seclude ourselves here for 7 days, and then pass the exams, enter university, and then subdue monsters and kill demons to save the world, with my left hand wrapping itself around Mu Ningzhu, and nestling against Tang Yue with my right. Mo Fan dreamed inside, when the time comes, we'll even find you a female pendant. The little loach pendant seemed as though it really understood, as it no longer blindly caused trouble. It returned to obediently lying on Mo Fan's chest. Mo Fan took a deep breath. Shit, is this really a pendant? Why is it acting like a little demon king in the world of players? After seating himself on the leather mat, Mo Fan was able to feel an energy gathering to him, similar to the nourishment of the pendant, even if he didn't enter meditation. The nourishment from the special warm pond was much stronger than the little loach pendant. If the Stardust magic tools were divided into common grade and spirit grade, then the cultivating nourishment which the underground Holy Spring brought was definitely a first-rate one. It felt like his entire being was getting ready to fly. His lightning and fire Stardusts, who were at a saturated state, began to move. They were like 2 infants who suddenly touched mother's milk as they frantically began to suck it in. Every time they sucked, their bodies began to expand a little. When he first awakened, the 2 Stardusts were really small. In his entire spiritual cosmos, they really seemed like tiny Stardusts. Their radiance was rather dark and not clear. Sometimes, they were even hard to find. After cultivating for 3 years, the Stardusts gradually expanded, their radiance distinct and clear. His entire Stardust looked as though it formed its own territory as it exhibited a mysterious energy. At this moment, the 2 Stardusts had subtle expansions. The change in every hour was about the same as Mo Fan's bitter cultivating for a whole week. This is too good. This experience is almost like cheating. Mo Fan's heart was incomparably stirred up. He never thought that he himself would actually accidentally obtain such an exceptional opportunity for cultivating. It seemed like stealing resources from those wealthy second generations was necessary. Even a dumbass would be able to be an expert who exceeded their peers with a cultivation speed like this. Resources. There were too many resources that were in the hands of a small number of people. If it wasn't for him revealing his dual elemental ability, then he wouldn't have gotten his hands on the underground Holy Spring. With the nourishment from the spirit-grade Stardust magic tool, added with the effects of the underground Holy Spring, the 7 days of cultivation could very possibly allow him to attack the intermediate magician level. A new guard who came not too long ago, Wang Tongwian, inquired of his commanding officer, Captain Liang Bin, is this underground holy spring really that miraculous? Our Bo city traces back a long time, even earlier than the age of Qin kingdoms. The underground holy spring could be said to have survived up until now. Think about it, our Bo city doesn't have economics, talents, nor development. So why are we a reputable city in the south? It is only because of the existence of the underground holy spring. It could be said that without the underground holy spring, our Bo city would at most be recognized as a village. Guard Captain Liang Bin answered from his seat on the floor, his face tranquil. Dating from the Qin kingdoms? Doesn't that mean it has more than 2,000 years of history? The new guard asked, shocked. Exactly. As long as you're not a naturally endowed, foolish, incurable magician, then cultivating inside there for 1 hour would be equivalent to cultivating for 3 days on a normal day. Liang Bin's face couldn't help but reveal some fascination. But Captain Liang, there are only a few people in Bo City who have entered underground holy spring, a guard to the side pointed out. Liang Bin nodded. He could never forget about the time he had been in there to enjoy it for 7 days. To people who thirsted for a greater power, that place felt even better than having a group of beauties assigned to you to ravage for 7 days.